right, so let the games begin.
I'm the librarian, and I came to read.
Like many of you, I was up late last night on Twitter, on social media, looking at the news, just anxiously watching all the races that were going on, anxiously watching the polls. And in this particular election, there were a lot of parts of it that made me feel like the words that I'm wearing right now on my shirt, okay, which you can find at houseofexpression.com. Check my description. No, but it really made me feel like now, sis, some parts of it did, but other parts of it were extremely successful, okay? There are a lot of people who will view our losses, Florida, Georgia, well, I guess technically, because she hasn't conceded at the point of me fucking making this video, at the time of making this video, Georgia, Florida, and Texas, a lot of people, were so invested in those candidates, including myself. It was just really disappointing to see them not come out on top. But don't let this kind of fool you into thinking that Democrats or, the resistance has just halted. Girl, we can't get no more shit done. Actually, this election was filled with quite a lot of victories, and some of the main one was the fact that Democrats won back the House of Representatives, and this is the first time they have had control of that bitch since 2010. Okay, so what that means is that the GOP cannot get any laws passed. They can't shove no bills through the fucking government. They can't get shit done without the House. That's going to be very uncomfortable for the Republicans, the Republican Party. It's going to be very uncomfortable for Donald Trump as well, because the Democrats can now aggressively come after his ass. I'm talking about subpoenas. I'm talking about investigations. I mean, they have subpoena power. Okay, so I was watching the news and I heard one of the news reporters says, Elijah Cummings, all these girls are about to hold his ass accountable in a way that, the Republicans before in the House refused to do. They're going to be asking for tax returns. I'm talking about Maxine Waters. Let me make sure I got this right. Maxine Waters is now the head of the Financial Services Committee, and she can subpoena, Trump's tax returns. The person that he spent months and months disrespecting and dragging is going to be dragging those tax returns from out of obscurity. So I hope that he's prepared. I hope that he gets used to this feeling on his wrist, because some cuffs are going to be really fucking tight. So apparently Pelosi says that she will introduce anti-corruption policy legislation for voting rights because it was completely disrespectful. How y'all were sending all types of polling machines to places and that without any power cords. Y'all had two machines working and hundreds of people having to wait in line in some of these marginalized communities, some of these black ass communities. We saw the shit that you were doing, okay? But what was unfortunate for a lot of you voter suppressor built bitches is the fact that even facing all of that shit, the black community still came out and we voted. I mean, I'll take this example right now. We can whip up who voted for Beto versus who voted for Ted Terminator, Ted Predator in the face bill tax Cruz. And we can see here that 84% of black men, wow, 95% of black women voted for Beto, whereas 59% of white women voted for Ted Cruz. Now, if you were confused before, I hope that you get it together now, because white women will vote for their whiteness before they look out for they voted for somebody who would take their reproductive rights away from their asses. Let me tell you right now, they will vote for white supremacy before they vote for progression. And that goes for white men as well. While we were over here dragging, everybody get your ass out and vote. White people there's so many of them hoes around. And second of all, these young ass white liberals, y'all need to talk to y'all parents and grandparents and shit, y'all friends and family, okay? Because they're the ones out here dragging our asses through the horse shit in the mud. Okay? As I said, Stacey Abrams, she has not yet conceded. And if she doesn't win, this is who will be the Georgia governor.
I got a big truck, just in case I need to round up criminal illegals and take them home myself. Yep, I just said that.
Andrew didn't win either. He lost to Ron Stoppables, his bigoted racist ass. It's really annoying, but we know that Florida's racist. We even saw from the statistics on Beto's election, we saw a lot of Latinos voting Republican, and that is, not surprising, because we know there are a lot of people who identify as white Hispanics. It's almost like tap dancing type of tease. They're ready to deport people like it's crazy. All of Georgia's not Atlanta. and Florida's racist, what's new? But we knew we would not get everything that we wanted in this election, but we got some really important things. Some notable amendment changes when it comes to the state level. Florida will now allow felons who serve their sentence, and I think who are also serving probation as well, to vote. So that was one thing, but a negative one happened in Alabama and West Virginia. They have passed constitutional amendments to take the right to an abortion away from women. So that was disappointing as well. So now I'm just going to go down the line reading some of the firsts, reading some of the successes, reading some of the milestones that we have made because our asses decided to take our ass out there and vote this midterm election, okay? Before, years ago, I'm sure people were just like, what's a midterm election? Now we know the interns, you know what I mean? Now we know every level of government. We know every person that's gonna be walking in and outside the motherfucking White House. I mean, from president all the way down to city commissioner, girl. We are now more informed than ever, and it showed in this election. Let's talk about it. Ocasio-Cortez, we've been following her. Democratic, she just made history and became the youngest woman ever elected to Congress. Ayanna Pressley, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Democratic, she just became the first black congresswoman ever from Massachusetts. Democrat Sylvia Garcia, she won a U.S. House seat, and she is the first Latina member of Congress in history. We have Jared Polis. He will make history as the country's first openly gay man to be elected governor. Democratic as well, we had Miss Kim Davis. If y'all remember her, she was like, oh, I'm not giving you gays no goddamn marriage licenses. She was snatched up out of that county clerk position. Betsy Driver became the first intersex elected official ever. So now Sharice Davids, she is an openly gay Native American woman, and she took her ass and unseated the Republican incumbent in Kansas. She will be the first Native woman to serve in Congress. She used to be an MMA fighter. She's a lawyer now. She was like a White House fellow under President Obama. So it's gonna be very interesting. Chris Pappas, Democratic. He's become New Hampshire's first openly gay congressman. Democrat Deborah Haaland, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She is the second Native American to get elected. I just read you the first. For New Mexico, she has been elected to Congress. Jahana Hayes became the first ever black woman to be elected to Congress from Connecticut. So yes, we did lose some things. We didn't get every single thing that we wanted, but all of those things, these first, I think there was also a first like Somali person to be elected to Congress as well. I don't remember her name. If you guys remember her, let me know in the comments. But like, there's so many firsts. There's this wave of diversity of different perspectives that we were lacking in, in government and representation. And now we're inching towards making that happen and making it happen more often. Okay, I am excited because now the House of Representatives is going to be a thorn in Donald Trump's side. He's not going to know what to do. Okay, with Maxine Waters at the head of this finances fucking committee, girl, and she's going to be dragging. He's going to be held accountable, hopefully. Now, I say this with a grain of salt, only because we need powerful leadership in the House. We need powerful leadership. As Democrats, we need powerful leadership. We don't need this type of leadership, okay? There's no time for holding hands. We don't need no type of, oh, well, girl, it's just political opinions. No, this is life and death, okay? If you're standing with someone who wants to revoke my human rights or doesn't see me as a fucking human, we can't be friends. We can't be buddy-buddy. I'm not gonna be holding your hands while you go vote for somebody who wants to destroy me, okay? Now is not the time for when they go low, we go high. No, we need to kick their ass when they down. We need to find a loophole, grease ourselves up through these fucking loopholes like they ass has been doing, get their asses in a racist ass, Nazi-built ass, homophobic rhetoric that is spreading throughout this country or uncovering itself, because it was always there, just uncovering itself further. Get their asses out of here. They can try and fight it if they want to, but so many people in this country are seeing how ridiculous it would be if these people continue to hold on to power in the government. There's so many people in this country who who want us to work together as people from different ethnic backgrounds, as people who may have different sexual orientations. There are so many people who want to work together, and we will, no matter how hard they fight, we will prevail over people who want to tear us apart. There are people who are mobilizing their own communities. There are allies who are listening to marginalized communities so as to try and prevent this country from repeating its past mistakes and, trying to fix the current fucked up situation that we're in right now. So make sure that you have a good goddamn evening, because I can promise you that the GOP won't.